Yes, thank you. Too many, too soon. Why I have trouble remembering how old I am. I like 33. When I was 33, I just took a liking at 33, and I was 33 for quite a few years. It confused me as to how old I am. So anyway, hi, how are you people?
Some of us know how old you are, but we won't tell you.
What?
I said some of us know how old you are, but we won't tell you.
Oh, I think around 85 now. It's been thrown out. I
That
think
sounds
so.
right.
Yeah.
Well, just remember that if you add those two numbers together, you're just 13.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Before we get going, carry over from whenever or from last week? Anything? Observations, questions, insights? The mic is yours.
Well, I can't tell who wants to speak because about 30 people have their microphones open. So somebody has to step up and speak.
Sensei Bob here. One thing I thought was very good last week was referring to the energies as nutrients.
Yeah, are you saying you like that change of words?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Let's talk about that for a minute. Energies. But then some people can do weird things with energies. What if I don't like that energy? And oh, will that energy harm me or something? Is a possibility. And kami, God knows what people do with that. I kind of, when I use the word kami, I kind of imagine a lot of people have butterflies and they call them kami. And they kind of sit back and say, let the kami do it. I like schmooze. If you're old enough, you remember schmooze? A bunch of little things floating around there, happy and loving. And if you were hungry, the shmoo would go, oh, and he'd like turn himself inside out and he'd become a hamburger. And there, you could eat the hamburger. And so that was Al Cap's little Abner schmooze. Brilliant, brilliant. In retrospect, the guy had it. Anyway, whatever, and be prepared to change words sometimes, gives you a different flavor. So again, with the addition of that word nutrients, I kind of find it is benign the right word. It's nice. It's nutrients. Sit, settle, soak, open to nutrients. I kind of like the flavor there. Don't get too cute on me though about, well, let's see, is there enough calcium there or potassium? Don't go cute on me. Keep it simple. Nutrients, whatever, nutrients. They're life-giving, whatever. Keep things simple. One reason might start to get too cute is to stay away from the actual experience of the deeper under energies. And that's your way of staying away from it. Oh, all you're doing then we'll study potassium and then we'll do, and it's like, well, where are you going? Why are you doing that? What are you running from is where I'm going here. Okay, so keep things simple. Close enough, good enough right there. Anyway, thank you, Bob, on that. Anybody something? If not.
Sensei Linda Eskin,
Yes, Linda.
not in particular about last week, but about my last week, I have been putting all of this to work moment by moment. And it's been a really important tool for me right now. I'm working on a lot of things that I'm feeling sort of pressured and, a little overwhelmed with. And I've been, stopping, settling, opening, looking at what's going on and really putting this work to as much use as I can.
Yeah. So practicing practicing, reminding yourself more often during the day to practice. Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. Even though they're at first simple ones, you can't go wrong because you're establishing that pattern. So yeah, and yeah. Okay. Okay. We okay to move on, people? Yeah, nothing, nada, zilch. Okay. What the hell was the write-up tonight? Hang on a second. Actualizing circle center. Okay, where are we going with that? We present pictures, we present ideas, but very important to experience, should be a better word there, but experience actual, okay, to actualize it. OSensei tried to get that across with put it in your body. Maybe a bad choice of words because I tried putting it in my body. It's like, this is not working. This deeper inner self body, dimensional finer self body. Put it in here, okay? Which brings us, I see the potted plant here. Potted plant is a damn good example. But anyway, let's start simple. And I think with what we're going to play with, we'll explain the write-up, actualizing, Okay, let's start with the first basic center. We'll do this standing, yeah. Okay, if I can. Oopa, oopa. So one of my early presentations was being centered. Early presentation being 19, Noah help me, 1966. Center, okay. Settle a little bit, yeah. Be present. As opposed to, oh yeah, center, yeah, I understand center a bit. What are we going to do with center? Okay, here. Checking my feet on the ground, feeling my body to see if the body is feeling here, as opposed to knowing I'm here. What's he talking about? Yes, that's the idea of it. Now the beginnings of experience of it. Easy. I feel a bit of settling down through the system. I notice the breathing pattern is changing. Just tells me I'm beginning to settle here better. There, I'm starting to feel a little beat there. Okay. A little early in the game, but okay. That I can feel a beat. Sense a beat. I don't know if I can feel it yet. Feel. Boom, boom. You may notice it with your breath, an inhale and an exhale, or whatever you guys are doing. There's a beat there. Okay. Now, basic centering. We're working center, and there are energies. I don't go to the idea now. Energies, and I play the game, they start from under and they flow up through the system. Okay. Inner, a bit of inner. Easy. Energies flow up through the system and partner rebeats back down. Just checking my stableness, my feet stability. Okay, from a little bit deeper, energies flow up through the system. Bing, reach a certain level. I'm saying this is about my level right now, pretty good. And from there, boom, respond back down. Energies up through the system. Energies down through the system. Again, this is an inner sense. Don't be looking out there for the energies. Here, little inner, finer sensing. Energies flow up. Energies flow down. Okay. This move happened. As the energies move up and down, they begin, at first they take a male-female kind of thing, form. You've touched on that before, we've touched on that before, when I've asked you, which one for you is the male? Which one is the female? Okay? And we've gone a little further with that. We won't do it tonight, I'm just reminding you. That at first, they could be bitching at each other. It's like, they're kind of bitching at each other. But as you settle, open, finer level of energy up, finer energy of level down, they begin to be more okay with each other. So if they were bitching at each other, if she said to him, "You're too harsh," and he says, "But you don't get anything accomplished," in a tight space, yeah, seems like they are bitching at each other. Settling, opening, as those energies can flow freer. I call this the dating game. At first they first meet in a coffee shop, they're checking each other out, they're not sure about each other. But then after a while, just hanging out, they begin to, they hold hands. They share dinner. As they continue to hang out, they get friendly, very friendly with each other. So I call this the dating game, that as you easy and settle and open the energies up and down, the he and she of them, have a better relationship. And like parents, better relationship hopefully produces, breeds, mixes a better kid. So because of that he, she flavor, there's the breeding capability. So I call it mixing or breeding, probably another word or two I forget right now. So in the center, energies up, energies down. Take a moment for the mix being bred. Feel yourself. Who are you? Who are you? And if you're, well, I'm the guy who's okay with up and down. Yeah, no, I'm not quite. That's the energy beats. Who are you? There was a mix, there was a breeding. That's words I can come up with. Who are you? And you feel yourself. I'm starting to feel a little stronger. Brad.
I feel fuller here.
Fuller. Okay. As these energies up and down, mix or breathe. Hey. I'm kind of a grounded guy. Now, this is me, and I have sort of a masculine macho first approach. So your sense of yourself could be different. So you're free to have your own words here about you. Okay. I feel like, more protective of my children or things. Whatever your feelings, I'm just giving you my form. And at first I'm physical macho, okay? You don't have to be that. But you do have to feel, who are you? And who are you? Okay. So I'm stronger. I'm more definitely here. Okay. And what else? And what? Up and down. I can support things a bit. Atlas with the world on his shoulders kind of thing. I don't think I could carry the whole world right now, but I could carry a load, not physically, responsibility. I could carry more responsibility. To get the fullness of yourself, the character. Up and down. Mixing and mixing. Hey, who are you? Who are you? Feel yourself. After a while, you feel yourself, and then we can get into what's your viewpoint of the world. But I don't want you at first to go from this mix and then we think about who I am. Better you feel, trick of the trade. Better just feel, and then you'll begin to feel your awareness, your philosophy, your viewpoint of the world at this level. Okay? And one more, Brad, what?
I feel balanced.
Balance, okay. Yeah, he looks balanced. Physically and a little bit energies around him are, yeah, balance, okay. Okay, let's take a pause there. Oop. So, that was the probably close to the original that I presented way back when. Okay. A lot of folks got a lot out of it. We used to do that a lot. I remember one of the first good stories, a guy who was a skier and was starting to do Aikido. And ski season was there and he went skiing and he came back and said, wow, was it different because I'm more centered? Wow. Now you've been skiing for years, but suddenly with more center skiing. He said, wow, we're different. Yes, better center, better character skier. Okay. So whatever the job is, whatever the circumstances are, can't go wrong with being better centered. So that was the first simple introduction. Okay, where are we here? Yes?
Well, Sensei, this is Lauren.
Yes, sir.
And if I turn my camera on, sorry. And so when I do this process, this that I've seen you do and done with you in classes for years, sometimes the energy wants to go up and down as you described it, but sometimes it also wants to go out and in.
Yes, you're a circle type. I'll get into that in a moment, but continue, please.
So over the years, I've enjoyed doing both. I find them both, but yeah, I would say I'm more drawn to the out in motion.
Yes.
And so is it just some people are
Yes,
some people
that's
are
next,
in?
Lauren. That's next.
Well, okay, so
But thank you for the warm up on that. I'll try to explain it.
it's a genuine question. So
yeah, no, that's why it's here. For everybody, it's important. Yeah.
I'll turn it back to you.
Remember, I liked center. I'm a center first major. Okay, I mentioned historically, OSensei was a center first major. And he was aware a bit of the circle and aware of self, but he majored in his earlier years, being centered. Okay. He knew he was missing something though, but he developed really, really cool. Okay. He was using it a lot for a strong body that does martial arts. So he got physically strong, right? Look at the old pictures. Whoa. Okay. This is the story of him as a little kid on the beach. And suddenly the sick kid in town, he's top of the group. What a shock to everybody because they knew he was sickly. But he caught on to this pretty fast, pretty early. Developed fast, okay. But eventually, which I follow through with this, eventually, center was very good. That's after that I got Takeda, the jiu-jitsu teacher, who was very good here.
Yes.
And he started to get the fuller of it. He says, hey, that's really cool. Then there's something missing. That's when he goes to Deguchi, Omoto Kyo. Deguchi is very advanced, got the whole thing down, but presents the circle part to OSensei. And did it, I guess, in kind of fun, wild ways, because OSensei said, he shook my cage, just showing how the circle works, shook OSensei's cage. And he was sort of aware of it, but Deguchi being much more advanced, boom, boom. And then OSensei needed that part, okay? And then he, when he left, he played with that. It's not just, he learned it from Deguchi, he's got it. He had to experience it, really experience it, okay? And he said, in the early stages there, people were starting to refer to him as OSensei. He said he wouldn't accept that title. He hadn't quite gotten the center, circle, circle, center pattern full enough. He wouldn't buy that title. When he got, we'll get into it soon, the center to the circle to the center pattern, and fully experiential in the fine dimension he was at, he said, okay, OSensei. But they tried to throw that title at him and he wouldn't buy it. I'm not quite there yet. Okay. Anyway, it's a little historical knowledge. Do with it what you will. Okay, where the hell are we? Somebody got something? Just to give me a moment's pause here.
Well, Sensei, if I just draw on history, what that transformation that OSensei must have gone through from Takeda to Deguchi. When he lived in Ayabe with Deguchi, he had a small dojo, and he was practicing all the time. I've read, like just day and night, as well as farming and hanging out with Onisaburo Deguchi himself and being part of the community. But he had his, when part of his experience was, I've read, is he was trying to figure out, what was missing in the thing he was doing while he was there with Deguchi, and he was actively daily on the mat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to dialogue with you another time.
Okay.
Yes, training, but inner. How does this inner activity, this center I am, and now the Deguchi presented more circle. I was aware of it, but boom, Deguchi sensei said, whoa, more or something. Okay, now he's trying to assemble that. And he's then, because of that inner work, checking out his outer techniques. Inner work, checking out his outer. It's not the outer is going to bring him to the inner, is all I'm trying to say here.
Yes.
Yeah. Inner to the outer as a quick reference. Or if you're having trouble with the technique or some ensemble of group attack or something, you can't quite, you go inner and say, hey, who do I have to be inner? What's the inner assembly that is okay with that? Inner to the outer, inner to the outer. More emphasis on the inner. Outer is just like a reference. But what happens with people is they take the reference and major in the reference and talk about the inner, but they're not inner. There's no inner being experience. They talk about it, pay lip service. Inner, actual experience, outer. So something I like that. Is that okay for now?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Somebody, something I need to pause here. Hello.
Hi, Sensei, it's Mike from New Zealand.
Yes.
So, would you say, therefore, that inner to outer is clearly
Sorry, Mike,
Well,
to interrupt you, but somehow we don't see you, Mike. Your camera is blocked.
Can you just sound a bit for me? Okay, now.
My apologies. I look, rather than trying to fix that right now, because I think it'll just mess things around.
We can hear you though, so.
I was just going to say, so therefore, would it be, would you agree that the general way Aikido has actually been practiced is from the outer to the inner? In the general population.
See, right there, I have to be socially correct. I have to be polite. I hint at damnation for the way Aikido is going, but I can't overdo it. So I don't want to head into that. Unfortunately, but following what you're saying, unfortunately, there seems to be a tendency for more outward and not a real inner experience, dimensional level of being inner. Okay, again, a lot of it's paid lip service to, but it's not actually experienced and majored in. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I also wasn't trying to present going inner to outer as being the right way, and therefore we're better than them, but merely the observation that that's what actually seems to have happened out there, that the outer is where the emphasis has been. And yes, along the way, a lot of the more senior people have developed a sense of the inner.
Now here, degrees. Yes. That's where you got to be careful. Degrees. What degree of inner? There are many dimensions. Yeah. So yes. I don't know if we can just throw out a blanket statement that he's a high ranked, he's got a fantastic inner.
No. I'm just saying no, I am saying though that some individuals will have picked up on the inner, and often subconsciously. In other words, there is a bit of the inner coming out in what they do, but they don't even notice that it's there.
Well, that then would bring a question to my mind, that on call they can't notice it's there and how it operates. It's some accident.
I admit defeat in trying to come up with the language.
Okay. Yeah, so establish a language one day. Okay, we better. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Yes. No,
okay. Center to circle. Again, standing. Now, we did one session. I don't think the chanting carries well, but to remind you what we did a center, and it, for lack of words, radiates out to the circle. The circle responds back to the center, enhancing. Boom, goes out better because it's been enhanced. It goes out better. We did the ah-oh, I think. Ah to the O and O to the ah, whatever is comfortable for you. Okay, those are just two example sounds. Okay, but let's stay with that basic center to the circle. Okay, better the center. It radiates out, flows out, whatever the electrical words are, out. It touches the circle, okay? The circle feels it and responds back to the center. What's our word tonight? Our
nutrients.
Actualize.
Yeah, so we're going to head towards more actualizing, okay? Maybe we should throw the potted plant in here because that's a beautiful example. The center, character, plant, Okay, center character plant. Boom, boom. In the world it's in, the realm it's in relation to the circle. Another word we give the circle is the warehouse of stuff. Okay, so the center says, hey, and just like our delivery system sees, hey, I want whatever. And the warehouse says, oh, okay, boom. And they ship it to you. And there it is for you to utilize. Okay. All right. Center to the circle, circle to the center. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to figure out of Lauren's question, if when to bring that in here. Later. Okay. Now more of the actualize. Let's use the potted plant form because I think it's a little easier to explain, maybe make it easier to experience. The plant, let's say, is a little bit lacking. Gee, I'm starting to droop a bit. Okay. The plant calls out to the circle, hey, I'm not feeling well or whatever. The circle, being the soil, the nutrients comes back. Now to actualize, the reason roots are important, base roots, is figured they gather here and then up and down through the centered character plant. Boom. Boom. Ha. The plant gets uplifted, the plant gets recharged, the plant gets healthier. And we could overlay this, am I jumping the gun here? We touched on a possibility for healing using this pattern. Keep that in mind here. The plant says, oh, properly done. Messages to the circle. Circle response. Dirt, nutrients, up and down the plant. So this character is a healthier character. The plant is a healthier plant. Okay, so instead of just acknowledging center to circle and circle to center, I wanted to add that little bit about the roots, where it's an opening to the plant. And the roots is where the nutrients gather that go up through the plant. Mixing up a stronger plant, creating a stronger plant, a handsomer plant, a nicer plant, a smarter plant, a more loving, but whatever. It's a warehouse for everything. Depends what your lineage is. Okay. Yeah, is that okay? Yeah. Did we stay on that one? Oop. And again, a reminder here, show these things and I do them for a minute, but that's not good enough. I expect, I hope, I plead that if this catches your attention, that you play with it. 15 minutes, a half an hour, that you play with it. Okay, actualize it. Okay. Let's see. Getting a little lost. We wanted to go into what Lauren was talking about here. Oh, let's just open mic. Anybody, anything on this so far? Anyway, you can see why hopefully why I like the potted plant as a presentation form, because it's a simple way of seeing, experiencing the center circle laws that exist throughout the entirety of creation. I know we're starting at a small level here, but we can quickly move into finer level, finer level, finer level. Okay. And it continues. No comments, anything? Shocked me.
I'll say something since it's Dusty. I just feel better after that exercise. I just feel more alive and joyful. So
Yeah, and that was 1 minute. What's 15 minutes worth? I don't know. You play. Yeah. You play. Not an idea. Some sense of experiencing. Okay. So I don't know, you double check, you say, would you say joy? Is that the word you use, Dusty?
yeah, I don't know joy, but vibrant.
Okay.
That pulse. That
Yeah. So to stay with that, not just, oh yes, the word, to stay with it and to feel vibrantly joyful and joyfully vibrant. Okay, to actually feel it. So after a while, somebody ought to walk in the room and say, whoa, are you having a good day? Just because you're vibing, you're glowing a certain way. Yeah? Yes?
Yeah. Do you have a question? What connects the circle and the center? What's that weaving that's
A law, that's how it was laid out. In the beginnings of creation, it laid it out in that form. And maybe it did a spiraling form, but that's a good basic. If I settle, easy the eye and clear, how those beats work will show, not just awareness show, but can show experientially, which is what we're doing right now. You got just a little taste of it. Wow, it was kind of interestingly cool at this virtually this first level. Holy shit. What's it going to be like finer and finer dimensions following this pattern? Okay. And don't drop it along the way because it goes the distance. Very fine, very original, very, very, very. Okay. It's not a temporary, oh, wow, now I'm going to move on to something else. This is an ongoing one. This is major. Okay. Anyway.
I like those. Very original. I like that. Thank you. Happy birthday.
Thank you, I think. Okay. So Lauren was talking about preferences. Okay, let's break you all up, mankind, people kind, whatever they're calling it these days, into 3 styles, for lack of words. I'm a center first type. Okay. OSensei was a center first type. Jack Wada's a circle first type. Lauren's a circle first type. Okay. Teja seems to like this feeling of balance as his first. Okay. I, as a center type, am now more and more catching up to the circle nutrient and getting more comfortable with that. How those two help each other. I call out, it responds, making a better character, plant, and just getting a better flavor for how it works. So I'm catching up on the circle part. Okay. You following me so far, kind of?
Yes.
The circle types, anytime you have a circle, you automatically have a character there, a center. Okay. Their weakness, well, let's go back to weakness. My weakness as a center type, as many of you know, I'm not that social, or I wasn't that social. That's the circle, being social. Who with myself and whatever. And yeah, I had a few friends and whatever, but socially, I wasn't quite a misfit, but questionable. You following me?
Yes.
Okay. Now, the circular type's weakness is they don't realize the bigness of center. They have a center, and if they're pretty good, they're present centered, but they don't have a center. That's why I kind of asked Katya not to make it full bore, because there'll be and even that may be too big for a lot of the circle types at first. So a circle type has a center, but often doesn't catch the fullness of the center. Okay. All right. So those two forms, nobody has an edge. They both have good and things to clean up, things to improve. The balance types, their weakness, OSensei liked that diagram. One day I'll have to fine tune it with him to double check, but I think he was saying here, better the center than that should be equal. Okay. And when you get some kind of equality or balance, it naturally can move better to the next finer dimension, at which time we'd make that line a bit bigger and this line a bit bigger. They stay in balance, especially if you're there properly to facilitate their imbalance. Okay. So where am I going with that? Oh, God. It's a interesting form to, I don't know, file away that the balance of things. So if you overdo the circular type, you're off balanced. If you overdo the center type, you can get off balance. Okay. It took OSensei more than a day or a week. He was on that catching on to the fullness of the circle. It was strange for him. It was very feminine. Okay. And inherent things like, oh no, that's weaker. That can't be right. I'm such a warrior. And stuff. It wasn't an overnight, oh yeah, I got it. You have to hang with that, experience how it works, let it unfold. Okay. So for those people think, oh yeah, I understand. I got it. Oh, I'm sorry, it's slower, but you gotta experience. I'm sorry. It'd be great to say, oh yeah, I got it. Now I'm in heaven. And it ain't damn well gonna work that way. But I have a good picture of what heaven looks like. I'm telling you ain't gonna get there with that. You're missing too much. There has to be a bop, 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 bop is what I'm pushing. Okay. I think I got lost here. The balance types. Tisha's not on tonight, is he? I didn't see him.
He's on.
Yes, yes.
Done? Okay. Tisha, we talked about this for a moment because it's your style. The tendency, because your balance is kind of natural at that whatever level you're starting with, that you're balanced, therefore you're superior to all the other guys in the neighborhood. There's the weakness.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm superior. And we say to that person, not teach, of course, but to that person, yeah, but what's next with your balance? What's the next inner, finer dimension of balance?
Yeah.
And a lot of those people are afraid to make that move because they're afraid, well, we're going to lose this balance. And I'm the best guy in the neighborhood. I'm top dog in the dojo. Hey. And so they're a little leery of letting go of it because it'll seem like it's disappearing. It might be lost for a moment, whatever. But there it is again at a finer dimensional level. And then it just goes on and on and on like that. But early in the game, they don't know that. So that's their weakness. They're superior.
Yeah, it's also complacency then too, to a certain degree. Yeah, you become complacent because hey, things are relatively balanced. Why leave a good thing, you know?
Yeah. One of those guys who, I need a job. Boom, there it is for them. Boom, they're bringing the big bucks. Hey. He says, I'm bored with this one. I need a job. Boom, there's his fucking job. Boom, they're paying him more. Hey. At that level, he's got it made. He's cool. He's successful. But finer and finer and finer and finer.
Yeah.
Questionable. Yeah.
So evolution for all three types, the essential balance type, the center circle, the circle center, they each have their potentials, their benefits,
Yeah.
and they also have their challenges. I
Yeah.
think that's what you're saying.
Yeah. That no one's got in a certain way. No style has an edge on the other. So I've got no complaints with circle people. Might take me longer to understand them if I'm a heavy duty center. But if they're interested in progression, they can do it from the center to the circle. And I just give that reminder. You're going to have to really double up on the center. See, OSensei had to double up on the circle to really get comfortable. It wasn't overnight. It was years. Yeah, early Iwama, around the pre-war time. If we could really get that. At that point, he said, now I'll accept the title OSensei. But he wouldn't accept it before that. Although people tried to throw it at him, he wouldn't buy it because he knew he wasn't quite centered, circled centered. Say, yeah.
Would you say, Sensei, would you say that the center energy kind of called him because it was missing? He had a lot of power from the centering, but not from what I meant was the circle. The circle really called him. Circle energy, circle nutrients, as we're.
Yeah. Okay. He told me, of course it's there while you're centering. Of course there's some circle activating. I don't know what words he said. Let's say he was vaguely aware of them, but didn't realize the boom of them. And that's where Deguchi came in.
Yeah.
So Sensei, like knowing there was more and he wasn't quite catching it, he purposefully, remember, this is a story where his father's dying, but he gets off the train or whatever to go see Deguchi. And people say, well, how could he do that? Doesn't he love his father or something? What about father respect? This is the Orient. No, this calling of, hey, I'm missing something, in the sense that that guy, maybe can help me, kind of thing. So yes, there's it shows itself. What did Sensei say there? But if you're used to being centered, you may not notice the signs of the circle. Okay. Oh, thought of something. Magician Dennis, are you on? He's probably got a gig.
No, Sensei, he is not on tonight.
I'll tell a story anyway. I was talking to him, and something about that fits in here. His daughter, who right now represents a circle, said to him, Daddy, you were brought up different than we were. I mean, her and her brother, whoever. Things are different. Okay. So I think we talked, me and Dennis, about a little better centered, to be more aware of the circle, to be in tune with the kids in this age, in this time, to be a better family. Anyway, that sort of fits in with what I'm trying to say here. I probably garbled the hell out of it, though, didn't I?
I don't think it was very garbled at all, actually.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So center, circle, circle, center. More advanced, more advanced, more advanced. The center to, I take my time here, and I don't know, say center to the circle. Circle is feeling whatever the center said to it. And boom, it's responding. Okay, well, Now, what I'm clarifying tonight was a trick of the trade here, is it's responding especially at the base roots. So the plant being open at the root, being deeper, so the more better soil nutrients can be there, can intake more of those nutrients up and down for a bit, to be a healthier, handsomer, whatever plant. So I think that was the newest addition, the bringing up the roots and more intaking. Sometimes it's worded like, if you're this, the energies spiral around. And I sort of don't like that way of saying it, because they'll be too much aware of things spiraling around instead of the intaking, the nourishment, the slurpee effect, or whatever you want to call that, where it's internal. Boom. There's something deep inside. Boom. So that was the highlight tonight, I think, for me anyway. Roots. Mentioned before, there's unfortunately in the, not just human condition, but bigger than that, a little fear of, quote, the underworld. And when it shows as dark, which quite often usually it does, it's dark, boom. That beings, not just people, but continues on, unfortunately, for a while, have an aversion. They don't understand it, and they kind of pull away from it. Okay. For a simple example would be if you ask somebody to settle, to sit with themselves, settle. A lot of people can't do that. They get something's happening. So they start to da 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 da. You know what I mean? They start to what about and oh, is that related to and they're trying to stay away from this under stuff. What I'm asking you to do also with this deeper roots, the word energies may not quite do it for some people. The word commies may not do it for some people. This, what's our word?
Nutrients.
Actualize.
Nutrients, a little more. It's nutrients, easy. It'll take care of you, Mr. Plant. Don't panic. It's nutrients. At first, you may not see it. You may say, but no, there's worms. Yeah, but even the worms, go a little deeper. The worms are leaving nutrients. They have a word for worm shit, don't they? It's very good for the soil. Droppings, I don't know. So your first look, your first take is usually not quite what it is. So I like the word nutrients. I thought that, oh yeah, just sit, settle, soak deeper into the nutrients, easy, finer dimension. The nutrients begin to show their truer colors. You see, at a heavier level, it's cow crap. What's the word for cow crap? I need a New Zealander here.
What's your question?
Dung?
Manure, Sensei.
Manure.
Manure. It's manure. But as you settle, easy. What is it really? Finer dimension. What is it? Not intellectual now. You got to sit on this shit. Oh yeah, I know it's a fertilizer. That's your, now you're gonna dialogue fertilizer forever. That's your cop out for sitting and soaking and opening. You got me? This is important. We have a basic fear of, quote, the underworld. So I like the sense of it's dirt, but it's fertilizer. Finer sense of it. So the shitty word again.
Manure.
Manure. So it could look like manure and smell like manure, Okay, but as you go inner, finer, what is that really? And eventually it'll show us fertilizer. And you continue inner, finer. What is it really, really? And it's life-giving, it's nourishing giving. And continue finer and finer. So it's simple, but you got to sit in it. You got to sit in it. Okay. And yeah, you're allowed to read stories and books and stuff, but make sure it's not like to the point where it's your cop out from not sitting on it. Did I say that, Brad? You like that? No, you give me a thumbs up or no on that. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So basic center. Just that alone. Oh, for me, I'm a center type, but for anybody, fun, basic, fun. Then, oh, it's kind of like in your development. It's like a double up law. You get up and down, and one is male and one is female, whatever, and you get an enhancement. But eventually, when it gets big enough, suddenly it points out, hey, there's a circle here also. At which point it centered you, not sure what to make of it. Okay. Easy. It's okay. It's natural, but it's like double up. The male, female of the center sort of double up, and now it's the male, female of circle, center, circle. Should we say? So always be prepared for a double up. If you think you got the whole thing, but you continue double checking, opening, allowing, it may double up on you and show you it's twice as big. You had a first piece very good, but it's this big. Okay, so do be prepared for a double up. I don't know a better phrase. It's what I made up, double up. Where the bigger of it will show, and it may confuse the smaller who said, I got my package. Yeah, but continue finer and finer to double check. Okay, another trick of the trade. What? I don't know. I've covered a fair amount. Let's. What? Where are you stuck? Where?
Sensei, just to complete the thought, are you saying that as you in your diagrams here, this up and down centering, center will breed a circle?
Oh, no. You breed your character, you breed the plant. But eventually the circle is there all along the way. It's been there, but not maybe showing as fully as it really is. Yeah. So no, you don't create the circle. See, the center is already there. I'm getting in the groove of center. I don't create a center. There's a center here. Often tried to teach it that way. Some people may remember. We stepped into the center that's already there, kind of thing. Not I'm going to create it. It was created a long time ago by what's his name? Forget. I've heard said that before in the old days. You missed the joke there now. Okay. No, you create a better character. Huh?
Were you meaning God?
We don't bring up names here. Yeah, so no, this breeds a better character. But in so doing, potentially the circle situation around it is improving. He may or may not notice. Okay. Or he may notice it a bit, but not get the fullness of the circle. My God, at one level, it's a universal warehouse. All nutrients are available. Depending on what kind of plant you are, full bore. Okay. But this is the centered character plant. Okay. And the circle is there, but you may be sort of aware of it, but you know, But as you continue, someplace, if you're good enough with this, it's going to say, hey, and you're going to go, what the hell is that? Okay. Or if you're good enough with this, someplace it's going to say, hey, what the hell is that? Okay. So it may startle you in a certain way or bump you. Okay. And you won't know why you're getting bumped out of your center. What the hell's happening here? I was so centered the other day. I was really getting cool. I was coolly centered and suddenly getting bumped. Right. Could be the circle saying, hey, I'm here. Pay attention. I've been here, but you haven't noticed me. Hey, hey. That's closer to the truth.
Sensei, Sean
Go.
here. I just thought of this great analogy when you're talking about all this. And instead of potted plant, how about a redwood? California redwood. They I don't know how many hundreds of feet they are.
Yeah,
but
I
there's
think
this.
OSensei mentioned that.
Yeah.
I was going to. Amy used to pull up sayings from OSensei and bring them to class for me. And one day, going to ask her to remind me about the one where he was talking about a big tree, a giant tree. You stand there, but like behind you is a giant tree. And I don't remember how OSensei said it, but it would be worth looking at that one.
I can find that one somewhere.
If it's no problem.
Yeah.
I was thinking more of like a botanist. There are these things that,
Okay, Sean, just to get on your case, stop thinking.
Okay.
Have you sat in the potted plant in that dirt and open up to the more of it? All right. Where I'm going, Sean, I'm not saying you're doing this, but it's part of the heads up I was trying to give the other people. I don't want to sit on this shitty, dirty pot. So, what about a tree? What about a willow? And what about flowers? And what about a dandelion? And stop it. Sit on this dirty pot. Let it unveil itself. Open to it, breathe it, its nutrients. But you have to experience. It's not a fucking idea. It's an experience. It's an experience. That a lot of folks are afraid to experience because it's this underworld. And through time, we've tried to get across to you. So I presented the snake pit story to you, my experience. I do that on purpose, and I bring back the same stories again on purpose. I'm sitting there. I'm beginning my meditation. I'm settling. Suddenly, I feel ping, ping. I can almost physically feel it. Ping, ping. And it's simple. I see snakes. Not see them out here in my sensing. I see snakes. What the hell? I don't like snakes, and they're biting me. The first urge, I'm going to get out of this sitting mode. Go check in the refrigerator. Okay. I knew when things were building up for me in a negative sort of way in my sittings, because I'd have an urge to go clean the refrigerator. Let me tell you, I never in my whole life have urges to clean the refrigerator, except certain times when I'm sitting and there's energies in the early days that I didn't know how it worked or wasn't aware they were there, but I think I'll go clean the refrigerator. Then I knew something was up. I stayed and sat. So what I did with the snakes was open some more. Damn, the next thing is a snake pit. Who wants to sit in a snake pit? I felt it's like an Indiana Jones movie clip or something. I don't like snakes, a snake pit. Oh my God. But I know I'm in my meditation space. Let's hang out here. We'll see what the hell this is all about. Continue. Easy, settle, open, easy. And the next level, I suddenly see these snakes giving me this, hey, this is a smile. And I go, aha, the trick, the game's afoot. Okay. And as I continue, I'll be finer, going dimensionally finer. I use those words now. the spirals weren't snakes, they were energy spirals. Oh, that was kind of used to energies, or to some degree. Hey, energy spirals. I continued a bit more, and there's this beautiful lady, and she'd move her arms. And when she moved her arms, these energy spirals that later and heavier became snakes, and heavier were antagonistic towards me. Okay. So you got to sit in your own snake pit. Okay. Let me aside for a moment. Bob, who's the lady, the nun, Spain back when that I asked you to read?
Saint Teresa of Avila.
Okay. So Bob mentioned to me that in her prayer time, meditation time, sitting time, correct me, Bob, yeah,
That's right.
that as she was sitting, wild animals were like biting at her. Ta-da! Hello, people. She's running through a pattern that I ran through. Okay. Now you're a good Catholic nun praying to God, and you're sitting and settling and opening, and suddenly wild animals are biting you. But she's cool. She goes, oh, that must be the devil. I'm out of here. So I asked Bob to research, see if she laid out her pattern there, what she did with that. So when he has time, he'll keep me informed as to her pattern. Are you following anything I'm saying here? So Sean, yeah, you want to do tree, do a tree. I'm an old tree hanger outer. I spent more than a little bit of time with the tree, letting the tree instruct me onto how it works so I could kind of mimic in my system. It's working. So yeah, fine, cool. But do be careful of bouncing around with more awareness and more this and more that, and not actually sit in the shit, which isn't really. But don't know that. Get to the experience, actual, where it's not, and continue finer and finer. Okay? John, you okay with that?
Sean?
Yes, Sensei. Thank you very much.
And again, not necessarily just for you. I'm not pointing a finger at you. This is humankind plus, plus, plus. This misunderstanding. So.
Sensei, I think I might have found the quote.
You found it?
I think so. Every sturdy tree that towers over human beings owes its existence to a deeply rooted core.
Thank you. Yes, that's the one.
Could you put that in the chat for us all?
It's already there.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind you show OSensei stuff, Lauren, but I wouldn't mind some that are more direct along the lines that I teach. I like that one, for example.
I'd be happy to work with you or Amy and anybody to refresh the sayings.
Well, Amy's got a story to write. You
Okay,
there.
I'll follow up with you, Amy. Thank you so much.
Anyway, do we get anything out of this? And basics, when the situation changes, okay, for you or Aikido people, you're working with one uke, a fairly easy move, things are pretty good, okay? And then the sensei says, okay, now two, and pick up the pace. Suddenly there's a little something that goes on there, because when the situation changes, by law, this has to change. That's the situation circle to the center activity going on. Okay. So there's your like early example, simple. Okay. And if the student can't grow to be equal to two uke is moving a bit faster, then you should tone it down and not just keep burying the guy. Did you keep burying the guy? I don't think he's going to learn too much. So once you realize you can't cope any further, then do a lesser form of it or something. Okay. Yeah. Trying to teach your kid baseball, you can't keep throwing a fastball, 80-mile-an-hour ball at him. He's 8 years old. He's never going to hit the damn thing. Who are you helping here? When I was with the guard dogs, police dogs and stuff. I always let the puppies win. We'd wrestle and they'd chew on me a little bit. And I always let them win when they're young. How can I develop them if I beat them down all the time? They're not going to even make the attack in the first place. Even when they're an adult, they're going to be, oh, I ain't going in. So anyway, how to pace. I must have said something intelligent. Any response, anything? We're eating up our time here, finishing up.
Sensei, this is Bob.
Hey, Bob.
The films of OSensei where he's has like 10 guys attacking him at the same time.
Yeah.
If you watch those films, he doesn't get frenetic and try to fight with 10 guys. He goes deeper and deeper in, and you can see the roots. And then those roots start to draw those attackers in. And if you look at it frame at a time, he accomplishes what seems impossible, and that is the feet of the attackers from all points in the circle get drawn into the center, and then they're down.
Yeah, a group second.
Yeah, that's right.
And if people try to physically learn how to do that, it's a joke.
They get run over.
Get killed. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Again, you have to watch with a certain eye where you can see past the first obvious into finer dimension. Okay. That's why in class would often ask you, the students, okay, you see he's stepping and doing e-kill, but what are you seeing? Well, he stepped with his foot and his hand moved. Yes, we got that. We got that. Next level of seeing. What are you seeing? And then they begin to see other things going, oh, there was a, and then he moved in. Oh, you caught the earlier before he moved in, or whatever. So the ability of changing the frequency of your eye, is that too heavy a way of saying it? Changing yourself dimensionally and then seeing from that level. You see, you go, if you're a whatever physical problem patient and you go see Elaine or Susan, yeah, they see you physically, but they're also already going click, 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 so they can see you at another level. Right? Yeah. Hawaii on? Let's be quiet tonight.
Asking for Gina.
Yeah.
Hello, Sensei. I'm here.
Just a reminder, inner finer character who naturally sees at her level with the sense that probably, I don't know, radiates out through the energy character you, through the physical character you, and that's where potential healing is. Yeah. Inner finer character. Yeah. So the lineage you're playing with is the lineage of seeing better, or one who can see or something. Yeah. Yeah. So just a reminder, nothing new there.
Thank you. I need it.
Where are we, people? Where are we? Brad, anything from your end?
At least for me tonight, I like the balance aspect, or just once I processed.
On the center one?
Yeah, just two
He's
things.
talking about doing the up and down center, the first one we started with.
Yeah, two things. So I really felt just kind of how I changed once I really sat in balance, the two energies. That was the first thing. That was nice. And there's this, I felt like I was riding on a surfboard, even though I was staying on the floor.
Yeah.
But I was riding a really cool wave that wasn't, it was always there, but I didn't see it or feel it before.
Well, if you're not in that dimension,
Yeah.
you may not feel it. Or if you're dense a certain way and you happen to, through some lucking out, happen to touch that dimension, you're kind of dense, so you don't notice it's surfboard country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just on the center tonight, I just feeling that relationship between center and circle. I feel the circle energies go to my center, and then as my center got finer, I settled more. Just this kind of nice echo within, like, I don't know, kind of hard to describe it. I really felt all this energy mixing in the center.
The center.
Yeah. So just try, what is the role between the relationship between center and circle? I just got a sense of it tonight that, the more you sit with it, it'll clarify itself.
Yeah.
That was a new experience.
Yeah, and that's why you can hear them okay, can't you? Yeah, and that's why it's not just an idea. No, I got that idea. I'm finished now. To sit with it, to as he was saying, the relationship of circle to the center and how that mixes, and anything, hang out there, soak in that experience, hang out in that experience, experientially. Eventually go finer dimensions, sensing that. So yeah.
Sensei Sean here.
Hey, Sean.
So when you, I think when it occurs to me that there's circle, center, circle with the up down, it's when you say squared away. You say you get squared away, and then there's like a fourth thing there. And then I sense that circle. But other than that, I don't get the gradients. I don't get the degrees in between. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's like
I think I'm following you, but let's start again one more time.
Yep.
So starting with center.
Yes, center, up, down, and then at some point there's a
Squared away.
Squared away, exactly. When you say squared away, I think horizontal, and I start to think like sort of small, but getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's a sense of largesse, a sense of dimensionality.
Okay, and then it's easier for that squared away to be aware of and contact more comfortably
with a sphere,
circular,
with a circle or sphere. Yeah.
So it sounds like that in your case, the character centered, as it gets up and down energies fuller and fuller, is a squared away character.
Yeah.
That's cool. Oh, fine. No problem.
Well, but that squared away is what creates the circle, sphere, or whatever you want to call it. That all those spirals, everything else. For me, that's how it occurs, because of the way you've presented it, maybe the way I've interpreting it, but it feels as if that squared awayness allows for more.
Again, Sean, I got no problem with squared away. I kind of use that sense often in a sense of being fuller, squared away. Okay.
Yeah, a circle.
Squared away, that's fine, that's fine.
Yep.
Just the fuller of the character. If he's fuller, he's a squared away character. He's a damn Marine. Bing, squared away. So yeah, fuller of the character, squared away, yeah. Interchangeable, I'm fine, no problem for me. Yeah.
Good, thank you.
Yeah. Sometimes, I don't know. I'm trying to think of, change the words. We use words, but then also in some way, maybe sometimes don't get, oh God, don't know how to say this, caught up too tight in the words. Sometimes my history in meditation, I get a lot of visuals in the finer dimensions. Okay, yeah. And sometimes I get a visual on something that I didn't understand. Okay, even though I was present with it, it didn't sort of do with it, kind of thing. And I'd say, okay, I don't understand that. Could you give me another example? So I'm still staying on the same lineage. I'm not changing jobs, so to speak. But could you give me a little different form here? And then it would present a different form. And quite often I couldn't understand the second form either. So I continue. I still don't quite get it. Could you give me a third form? And invariably, inevitably, whatever the right word is, the third form would be like the punchline. And then I realized what the first line was, the first presentation was trying to show, and the second presentation. But the third one was, oh, that's what it means. But to get locked up, I don't understand that. And I'll never get anywhere if I don't understand that. It's like, easy. It's intelligence here. Hey, could you clarify that? I'm a dummy. Give me a hand here. Could you clarify that for me? So I don't get too locked in. Again, I didn't lay that out well, but something like that, I don't get locked in, you know. Sean, that was what I was trying to say about the breathing. He said, yeah, I know breathing is ancient. I've done my time in the early years with breathing. It's cool, but don't give anyone the sense that it's the only way. Don't give me the Catholic bullshit. I'm brought up Catholic, so don't give me that Catholic bullshit. Okay, we knew all Protestants were unfortunately going to hell.
Never me, not the liberal. Screaming liberal.
I'm older than you. I'm talking about the old days. When the nuns had thick leather belts and they used them. The old days. Anyway, where the hell are we, people? Finishing up. Are we okay for tonight?
We are right at 8 o'clock, Sensei.
Oh, yeah.
And last call for anybody's
Yeah.
dialogue with Sensei, questions, comments?
I think it's happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday, Sensei.
I think we're going to do it again now that we're all in tune.
Next year.
Can you bear it, Sensei?
You don't have to sit here for it.
I didn't want to. Yeah.
Why not appoint a singer, someone who can actually...
Oh, here's Mike. One other thing. What's Mike?
No, I was just saying, how about appointing one of us who is actually a singer to do it, because the garbled noise that comes over because we don't have the fancy comms that deals with the response times.
And perhaps even one of the people.
We have Florida Amy on?
Say again?
Florida Amy on, question mark?
No.
Too bad, she does a good job. She bugs me every year. My phone rings and it's her singing.
We're going for volunteers, some of those musicians out there.
It's time for me to get up, head towards the wine. Thank you, Deja. Thank you, people.
Good night,
Y'all
Sensei.
take care.
Good
And-
job, Tisha.
Right.
Thank you